Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. I'm incredibly sorry that yesterday's video was so lackluster and a bit poor, really, to be honest. I wasn't very enthusiastic in it. I was a little bit tired, and that's my only excuse for that one, but I thought I'd upload it anyway. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about Ferrari, particularly, well, I say particularly, we're going to be talking about Charles Leclerc and Vettel. And firstly, we're going to start with what on earth is going on with Sebastian Vettel. I mean, that Ferrari is a absolutely awful car. It's a dog shit car. But Charles Leclerc seems to be managing to get the best out of it. It almost reminds me of Alonso and Raikkonen. I think it was 2014 as well. Where Alonso managed to get the hang of the car and Raikkonen was just nowhere, to be honest. And that's no disrespect to Raikkonen, because I think he's an incredible driver. But this is the second time we've seen this with Vettel now. The first, obviously, being in 2014 when he came up against Daniel Ricciardo. Obviously, coming off the back of those 4 world championships, he was the man to beat. Everyone was, hoping for the Vettel dominance to end, and boy did it end. Not only was the car terrible in 2014 with the start of the new hybrid era, but he also got absolutely destroyed by his teammate Ricciardo. Let's not forget that Ricciardo is the only person we've seen even nearly keep up with Verstappen. But anyway, moving on from that, it was so strange to see a person that was so dominant for 4 seasons, and he was arguably he was in the title running for the 2009 World Championship as well, to be honest. So I mean, 5 seasons where he was absolutely on the pace, and then we just get to 2014 where he gets absolutely dominated by a teammate. Now, excuse me, is this something with Sebastian Vettel? Because we're seeing the kind of same thing that we saw in 2014, where he isn't quite comfortable with the car, and he kind of fears his teammate a little bit. And it seems that when that combination of things happen with Sebastian Vettel, it seems like he just can't quite cope with it. Whether that's something mentally or whether he's just checked out, because in both scenarios he was obviously due to leave the team in both cases, of Red Bull in 2014 and obviously Ferrari this year. But whenever we see that happen, and he comes up against either a good teammate, and then he comes up against an incredible driver who seems to be putting the pace on him, he seems to absolutely fall apart. And yeah, it's just a very strange one. Remember, he is a 4-time world champion, and this is twice now that he's been beaten in a season by someone that isn't a world champion. And obviously last year, Charles Leclerc, it was his first year in Ferrari. With Daniel Ricciardo, it was his first year in Red Bull. So there's no excuses at not knowing the team or anything like that. So it's a really strange one. And obviously we're going to the 3rd chapter now with Sebastian going to Aston Martin, or Racing Point as it is at the minute. I think he feels, from what we can see, he needs to be the team leader. If the team is built around him, if everything is comfy for him, then he seems to perform well. And as soon as anything comes out of line, we see Sebastian he doesn't look very good at all this season. I mean, from what we've seen, he looks kind of rookie-ish. And if he was a rookie, he would be like, okay, he's not performing great, but he's a rookie. But he's a 4-time world champion. I know I've said that about 10 times in this video already, so I'm incredibly sorry about that. But yeah, this is the second time he's been beaten. We've never seen that with the likes of Hamilton, Alonso. The only person that gave Alonso any trouble was obviously Hamilton, but we've seen what he's become now, so you can kind of, see that. So yeah, it's very strange. I think, like I was saying, Vettel needs the team to be built around him. He needs to be the number 1 driver. He needs everything going his way. And as soon as it doesn't, it seems, unfortunately, that he seems to crumble under the pressure. And I hope that next season we see a different Vettel. Now that he'll definitely be the number 1 driver in the Aston Martin Racing Point, Force India, whatever you want to call it. It'd be interesting to see what colour that car is, by the way, next year. I think it'll be British Racing Green. But anyway, yeah, it's his third time. I can't see Stroll doing much. I mean, Stroll, to be fair to him, has been fantastic this year. I'm one of the people that, writ him off as a daddy's boy. Oh, I've only got the seat, blah, blah, blah. And he proved that for the first however many 3 or 4 seasons he was in the car. But this year, when they've got a great car, or a decent car, he's actually performed really well. So you've got to give him credit where credit's due. He has performed incredibly well this year. Even though if he did have a bit of the flu, I do apologise about that. I'll never do that again. Anyway, I think Vettel's going to have obviously the measure of Lance Stroll this season, but we never know really, to be honest. If Lance Stroll gets ahead of him at the start, then maybe we'll see Vettel crumble again. But I think this will be his team. And whether or not we can see the old Sebastian Vettel again, who is incredible when he's on his day, we'll wait and see. But I'm very much looking forward to that next year, and a little bit of a change in the dynamic. And yeah, rambling on a little bit now, so I'll end the video and I'll give you a shout in the next one. Cheers.